Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Goldylocks Productions presents the Live from Little Bear Sanctuary show with Christopher Vane. Enjoy topics such as the vegan lifestyle, sanctuary media highlights, and spotlighting new rescues.
Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to Live from Little Bear Sanctuary. I'm your host, Chris Vane. How is everybody doing today? Oh, guys, it's Friday. I'm so excited for the weekend. I'm going to try to get some sun and relax this weekend. And I hope everybody's got some fun things planned. If you are watching us today on the Little Bear Sanctuary Facebook page or the Goldylocks Productions YouTube, don't forget to log in and say hello. Subscribe to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube page, and please like the Little Bear Sanctuary Facebook page. And what else can I tell you guys today? Our shows are on demand on both places. We also have the on-demand shows available on the Little Bear Sanctuary website. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Nana Sala. Finland. Wow. Awesome. Hello, Finland. We've got a great show today. I'm actually waiting for our guests to log in, so I will continue chatting until I get some notification. If you missed any episodes, on demand everywhere. I also have to say a special thank you to Dr. Lauren Love. She's ICU doctor, the ICU nurses, technicians, and staff in Boston area hospitals for sponsoring all of the Goldylocks production shows for March and April. They've paid for all the shows. So how amazing is that? Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing out there. I know times are crazy. I have friends who are PAs in New York, so I know what you guys are going through, and I love that you guys love the shows, and thank you so much for that. It's fantastic. What else can I tell you guys? Who else is here? Jackie. Hey, Barbara. How are you, Barbara? Good morning. Chester, Pennsylvania, in the house. I have a feeling that Derek or Steve probably are on the wrong. I don't know. Do they have a different time zone than us? Anyway, Derek, Steve, if you're watching, go to your email. There's a private link to sign into the studio. All right, who else is here? Steve and Derek. Yes, changing the world, absolutely. Amherst, Massachusetts in the house. Jennifer and the animals are doing fabulous. A lot of viewers today. Thank you guys all for signing in. And let me see what's going on here. All right. I am going to, I think my connection isn't working that well. Let me try something, guys. Since we have some time, bear with me. I'm going to try something out. All right, here we go. All right, guys. I'm going to make a switch, so you might lose me for 1 second, but since we have time, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Hey, hey, guys.
Hello. Sorry about that.
How's it going?
Connecting. It was scrolling, but here we are. We're so glad that it's we can join you.
Hey, hello, Pigger.
Oh, Esther. How you guys doing today?
It's a beautiful day. We're on the upside today for sure.
Last day of winter.
Oh boy.
Bring it on.
Big cold up there. You guys getting a lot of the snow that everybody's getting?
We've been all right actually. The last few weeks we've been pretty good. It's been nice and mild. We did have a good good kicker of a storm. When was that? End of February, middle of February?
Yeah.
We had about 2 feet of snow come down all in one big storm, and yeah, it was a pretty white winter. We did have a lot of snow this winter. It was
Nothing
Awesome.
really to complain about. You know,
Yeah.
we're used to it here. We've
Yeah.
got all the right
Well,
equipment.
let me introduce you guys for those people who are watching, since my connection is a little crazy today. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me okay?
absolutely.
So today, who's Derek? You're the executive director?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so in the studio today, if you guys don't know, we've got, I'm losing my place, guys. It's been a crazy morning. All right. Dads to Esther, the Wonder Pig, Derek Walter, Steve Jenkins, welcome to my show. I really appreciate you guys being here. And of course, Miss Esther there on the couch. So what's it like to be dads to the most famous pig in the world?
Oh, I'll let you take that one.
Oh god, it's pretty awesome, to be honest. I mean, she's incredible, and I know you know pigs too, and I mean they're amazing animals to spend time with. I mean, she's endlessly entertaining. She's so funny, and yeah, knowing that her life with us is having an impact on other people is a pretty. It's hard to explain how it feels. I mean, it's overwhelming at times, and it's super exciting and a ton of fun. It's really hard to explain. It's wild.
It's such a completely unique experience, and it's hard to put into words. And imagining the impact that the Esther effect has had. You know, Esther is people have gravitated to her story from all corners of the globe, and we often forget just how many people are involved.
Yeah. Let's talk about that day back in 2012 when Steve thought he was adopting a micropig.
So Steve got a call from a friend of a friend on Facebook that reached out. Then she had said that she had a micro pig that was not getting along with her dog and her newborn baby, and that she needed to find an out right away because she didn't want anybody to get hurt. And Steve hummed and hawed about it, and then she wrote back and said, well, you either got to take her right now, or I've got another home lined up. And so Steve flew off to pick her up, and
I had no other option.
I didn't know this was happening.
You didn't know. That's what I heard.
Yeah, these were all side combos. And then I'll let you tell about when you picked her up.
Yeah, she came in a laundry basket. She was tiny. I mean, I was told she was 6 months old, and a proper mini pig, and was going to be 70 full grown, that whole yarn. You know what I mean? And when I got her, she was maybe 8 to 10 inches from the tip of her snout to the end of her tail, and looked every bit the mini pig that I thought we were getting. She was tiny. She had sunburn on her. She looked like hell, to be honest. She had chipped nail polish on her and a ratty collar and sunburn on her ear. She looked terrible, and that was a big part of me not being able to let her go once I had seen her. You know what I mean? She looked rough, and I didn't want to send her back there because I didn't know what was going to happen. And so as soon as I saw her, I knew I was keeping her. I knew nothing about pigs, but I saw this tiny thing, and I couldn't possibly think that she would be any bigger than I was told based on how tiny she was. She looked like those little pictures you see of a little tiny pig in a teacup. It was exactly what I thought a mini pig was. So that was that. I said yes. I kept her and sent this person on their way, and then I went about planning my reveal to Derek, which entirely. I was supposed to go away for the weekend, and I was going to come home after the weekend, and I found her while I was up north in Kincardine.
Oh, that was the Highland Games.
Yeah. So that was my plan. But as soon as I saw her again, she looked rough, and I didn't want to put her in a hotel room and leave her in the hotel room while I was off doing what I needed to do all weekend. So I canceled the Highland Games and kind of hid around town while I knew Derek was at home and waited for him to leave. I knew he had magic shows later that day. He had to work. So I waited until I knew he left home. and then took Esther back and started cleaning the house and cooking dinner, the things that you need to do when you're going to be in trouble. Right, Pigger?
Yeah, we had that stage was set. The flowers were on the table. The candles were lit.
Oh boy. So you knew something was happening.
Oh yeah. As soon as I come in, the dogs typically greet me, Ruben and Shelby, and they were not there. And when I walked down the hall of our house, and it was a tiny house. You could see the whole house as soon as you're in the hallway. And the two dogs had their faces pushed against the glass. They were just fixated. And I flew down the hall and I saw Esther running about the office.
Tell them what you said.
3-second delay here, right?
Surprise!
Yeah.
I heard very colorful language coming from down the hallway.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed with the methods of procurement and bringing in a new family and a family member. He had done this just 8 months before with a cat, Dolores. He had brought her in.
They find me.
They find you, don't they?
I
Absolutely.
don't know
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to do.
So Esther was fine. She was, how could you not love her? And she's just like a puppy, right? Just tiny, innocent being. It was you that needed to move out nearly. But
And then, of course, Steve said, well, she's little. She's a micro pig, right?
Yeah. He tried to convince me that I could use her in my magic show, and that was going to be the.
I got her for you.
Hey.
It's all for you.
Yeah. So I taught her a few card tricks, and she got too big in the end.
Yeah, you couldn't pull her out of a hat anymore, right?
No, my gosh. Now people come here. To see.
Only for a few weeks she fit in the hat. That was really the clue that something was up. I mean, the rate of growth that started relatively quickly after she arrived was shocking. About a pound a day at her fastest. Within a few months, she was very obviously not going to be the little pig we thought. Yeah, she has surpassed the 70 pounds of growth within about 2 months.
2 months, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a really eye-opening experience.
So what was that like? Well, did you say, oh my God, this is a farm pig? When did you guys realize that,
Well, the vet, when we found out, the first clue that something was wrong was the very first trip to the vet, and he saw her crop tail. So that was what tipped him off immediately that something was going on. He said, Steve, never sell, or breed a pet pig and cut its tail. That's just not how it goes. Because I think it's a commercial pig. And he said, but if what you're saying is true and she is meant to be a pet pig or whatever, he said there's a chance that, maybe she's part potbelly and, she'll be 200 or 300 pounds, not necessarily a full-size farm pig. But that still was substantially larger than what we had expected. And I had to tell Derek something. Obviously, I was the only one at the appointment. So when I came home, I didn't want to tell him the farm pig part out. And said, well, she's going to be a bit bigger than we thought. And I was really grasping onto her being 250 pounds because we were only a few months in at this point, and Derek obviously had warmed up to her at that point, and I didn't want to upset the apple cart. And I figured 250 pounds and, a normal-sized potbelly pig, we can still handle that. You know what I mean? It's a medium-sized dog or slightly bigger than a medium-sized dog. It'll be fine. And just didn't want to even consider this. 600 beautiful pounds, because that was just unfathomable to me, especially where we lived in that little house in town, and that was going to be a problem. So I didn't want to plant that seed at that point. But 250 came just as quick as 70.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Right.
It did.
So at a year old, she had to already be 300 pounds, right?
Say that again, Chris.
What's that?
Can you say that again, Chris? I missed that.
I said at a year old, she was probably already over 300 pounds.
Oh yeah, it was. Her first year it was 250 pounds, and then it was really quick to 400. It just seemed eye-opening as to how fast she was growing, and
Wow.
we were not living a plant-based kind lifestyle at that point, and she had a profound effect raising her on our lifestyles and our choices. And
Yeah. So I know you guys were in the kitchen, right? Cooking some bacon up.
yeah, it definitely went down like that. I was cooking, and
Breakfast for
the
dinner.
dogs were right at my feet waiting for their little piece to fall off. And
Yep.
Esther was waiting at my feet for a piece to fall off.
See, she was raised with the dogs, right? And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
of course.
she was raised and acted like a dog.
Like a dog.
She ran around with them. She followed them. They followed her. You know, when they wanted snacks, she wanted snacks. They'd come and sit 3 in a line. You know, it was really incredible. And I think her being raised with the dogs is a big part of why she has the personality that she has, and why obviously she is so, you know, well accustomed to living in the house. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
You know, she went out to pee with them. They taught her the rules of the house, and so it was pretty awesome. And Shelby was the leader of the pack when she was a piglet, which is one thing we've noticed a lot. Is if you have a young pig that isn't raised with a mummy pig or a daddy pig, they can be real buggers. You know, they get real attitude problems and push test your for dominance. And so I think hindsight, we were really, really fortunate that Shelby was the herd master in Esther's eyes, and Shelby kept Esther in check, you know, and
Absolutely.
and so that was really, really helpful for us in keeping her, you know, a manageable member of the family, because there's nothing you're going to do to stop her if she decides that she's doing something or wants something or is taking something.
Yeah.
You know, it's happening.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. That's 100% for sure.
For sure.
How many pigs do you care for, Chris?
We right now have 119 pigs.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got about 20 Yorkshires at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
A couple Berkshires, you know.
Yeah.
They're we've had a few little bottle fed babies in the house, all different types, and it's interesting. They definitely are different when they're raised with the dogs.
Yes.
Versus just being outside with the other pigs. It's a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah. And seeing them beside each other was, again, one of the things that was really, really eye-opening for us, is watching them and watching her grow up with them was, you know, the way that they played with toys together, and the way that Esther would, you know, watch Shelby playing with a treat ball. And then Esther, that's how she got onto a treat ball, of course. And she was much better with it than Shelby was. And so these are little things that we saw and noticed that really started to get us thinking, you know what I mean? There's a lot more to pigs than what we thought. We knew they were clever, but they were far more clever than we had ever anticipated. And it was that comparison, the side by side with the dogs, that really highlighted it. You know what I mean? We've had dogs all of our lives, but they were never opening the fridge or opening our cupboards. You know, and they were never, you know, taking the treat ball in a straight line from one end of the room to the other. You know, it was a totally different level of thought and abilities in her compared to the dogs, you know. And so that was really, really amazing to see and to watch. And you know, like I said, it really highlighted and drove home just how crazy intelligent pigs are. It was wild. It was really wild, and something we probably wouldn't have seen the same way, you know, raising pigs just the way we do that, raising our pigs here at the sanctuary. You know, you don't see quite the same thing out of them as we saw out of Esther, only because we're not there 100% of the time, and we're not having that side by side comparison. So that experience of
we're living in an unconventional environment.
For sure.
So there's things here that you guys get it all.
Yeah. It was a wildly cool experience to.
We underestimated her sneakiness for sure.
We really
oh gosh, yeah. They plot, they scheme. I tell everybody they plot and they scheme. They know exactly what they're doing. They have meetings about it. They plan ahead. They're
it's
very, very, very intelligent.
They really are incredible. Aren't you, special girl? Yeah.
She's being all lazy.
This is pretty much her afternoon routine until.
Yeah, I wish that were my afternoon routine.
Yeah, I know.
She looks very comfy. So, when did you guys decide? Okay, let's start the farm sanctuary. Let's open a nonprofit. How did that go about?
So when we were living in the middle of Georgetown, Ontario, small city, we had neighbors all around us living in a back. She had a backyard that was 80 feet wide by 40 feet deep. And we had resodded the backyard 2 times, and she had removed every ounce of, landscaping and
She loves gardening.
and she's rearranging the house, doing all sorts of things that are, not great for her. We had to start thinking about alternatives to where and what we were doing. And I mean, we were looking for, anything. We were grasping at straws at this point, and we were fairly uneducated. And we found out about farm sanctuary, something that we had never heard about before.
They were we found them in the worst case scenario in our mind, right? We were thinking,
yeah, sure.
She's getting so much bigger than we thought. We know we really shouldn't have her here. The town could show up at any time. What are we going to do if we have to get rid of her, if she gets too big and we just simply can't handle it? Or, that's how we found out about sanctuaries. It was Derek researching that found out about them. But it had never been a thought on our mind before that, or even until Facebook, really, right? When Facebook started.
We were, leading our private lives on Facebook, and our friends and family, were interested in what was happening with Esther and the daily actions of a pig living in the house. But we wanted to remain private for the purposes of the town figuring out where we were.
Yikes.
And my biggest fear was just a van backing up, all of a sudden, and them coming and going, what, time's up, guys, that's it, Esther's going. And we all know that there are not homes for pigs like these guys, because I was in the midst of searching for a home for her, and the only homes I could find was a slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And
sanctuaries were full, everything was full,
and people would buy her for her size, and because, well, I mean, so we found out about farm sanctuaries, and we started researching and got lots of replies and no, and we're too full. And we went and saw a couple, and we weren't really, all that enthused about leaving her there, and we weren't sure. We didn't
from this, it was the thought of putting her in a barn that was the problem.
Yeah, sure.
It wasn't that the sanctuaries were a problem at all. It was just
I get it. I totally get it.
How could we do that to her? And that was really upsetting to me, the thought of having to entertain that, we launched.
Is she already like 600 pounds at this point?
450.
Yeah, she was 450 by the time we left Georgetown. And so once the Facebook page started and the more popular she got, and word got out, like the media started showing up and getting a hold of us. And so the town knew, we knew damn well, the town knew we had her. The cat was out of the bag. And so we were just going to go to a house. We just wanted to move from our house in town to a house in the country. Even then, it wasn't about the sanctuary or starting a sanctuary. It was just, the more popular she came, that snowball, when the page first started, it went from nothing to hundreds of thousands of people in a few months.
Yeah, absolutely.
And over the course of that happening, all of this started for us saying, well, God, we've got to move, and where are we going to move? And let's go look at houses. And well, at the same time, all these people were in our ear, oh, we love Esther, we fall in love with Esther, can we come visit her? And all of this other sort of stuff. It combined with Derek's researching of sanctuaries and knowing that, A, we had never heard of them until she came around, which we figured a lot of people were probably the same, just didn't know that such a thing existed. And at the same time, we knew that there was a lot of interest in Esther and what was going on. And we thought that could, of course, bring a lot of attention to the sanctuary and sanctuaries in general. And so that's how it went from just, we've got to move, to, well, let's move and actually do something, instead of just, carrying on as we're doing. And so we went to the page and we asked, we said, here's what we're thinking. We know we need to move. We're considering buying a farm and opening a sanctuary, but we would need your help. What do you guys think? And the reaction was astonishing. It was so crazy positive that we pulled the trigger and went with it. We got super fortunate and found this property very fast. We could not afford it and needed to do that crowdfunding campaign, which we did. It was $400,000 was our goal in 60 days.
We didn't tell the sellers that we didn't have the money. We bluffed our way through the conditions, and we were just like, yeah, let's do it.
We didn't lie to them. We just didn't tell them the full extent. You know, we asked for an extended period to get our financing together, but we didn't tell them what that meant. You know, we said we've got to get all the money together, and you know, everything will be fine. And then we launched the crowdfunding campaign after they had accepted the offer, and we had removed the other conditions so that they couldn't back out of the deal.
It was yeah, I didn't think that we definitely, you know, omitted a few things for our side, because I don't think they would have accepted going, yeah, okay, guys, you're going to raise, you know, you're going to sell T-shirts and
that conversation would not have gone well.
So we definitely put on poker faces.
But we wrote a letter to attach to the offer and told them what we were doing and why we were doing it and what our plans were for the property. Like, we did tell them all of that, showed them the page, you know, let them know they could go and see Esther and what all of that was about. But again, at this time, there was no crowdfunding campaign. There was no evidence of that. So even when they went to our websites and saw all that, all they were seeing was, you know, hundreds of thousands of supporters and all the support for us making this move. And you know, I guess in that way, they had no reason to doubt us. But yeah, I think had they known the full extent of what we were trying to do, it would have scared any seller, rightfully so.
Oh gosh,
and we were in competition. There was another offer at the time.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Another offer over the other one because of what we wanted to do, because I believe the other one was going to develop the property. They would have probably tried to subdivide it and, you know, torn down the old house and all that.
Keep talking, guys. I got to plug in my computer. I'm so sorry. Keep talking.
Not at all.
That's all right.
So yeah, it happened really quickly. Again, we started this page in December, and by May, right, we had an offer in on the farm, and by June the offer was firm, and we moved by November. So 11 months from starting the page. We had found the farm and moved to the farm, and we're starting a sanctuary. Somehow.
The speed was breakneck, and I often forget about
the anxiety and wanting to throw up every single day.
What was accomplished in such a short period of time, but it was, you know, we wouldn't have been able to do this without, you know, all of Esther's supporters. We just could not have traveled the ground that we were able and created the excitement for farmed animals that came out of people seeing Esther live in an unconventional environment. And so we just put the wish out there that Esther wanted to start a sanctuary, and you know, we put the vision out there that we wanted to be able to see her really run and be able to explore and, you know, tear up the lawn, and the place is so big that we don't care if she tears up the lawn, and don't have to worry about neighbors. And people all came together to create a life for her that, you know, has turned out to be a life for, you know, hundreds of individuals that the sanctuary has been able to help. And then also the impact of the humans, once we throw the human element into it, the humans that have changed as a result of her.
We've got so many people logging on and saying hello. I couldn't even possibly go down the list, but there's quite a few people who are saying that they went vegan because of your story. So truly amazing.
It's the effect that she's had on people just from watching our family live in our what is our circus tent.
For sure.
It's the same idea though that happened, and we did that consciously. The way we present the page was, you know, the way Esther impacted our life. You know, we knew that just her personality and her being herself and getting to know, again, we talked about how clever she was and all these other little quirks and personality traits she had. That is what got us thinking. You know, a lot of people are animal lovers and would tell you, I think, 9 out of 10 or 99 out of 100 people, if you were to stop on the street, hey, are you an animal lover? Oh God, yeah, I love animals. I love animals. Derek and I were the same, but in the other hand, we were happily pulling off at McDonald's to get a burger and fries and
with bacon,
right?
With bacon,
lovers. But you know, sure. It wasn't until we got to see her level the playing field between a farm animal, which, you know, we had come to learn Esther was, and our companion animals. It was seeing them together and seeing them interact, and like I said, it really elevated where we thought farm animals belonged. You know, because we they had everything that our dogs had, and everything that we would have given our shirts to protect our dogs, and the money we spend to take care of and pamper our dogs. And what do we do for them? You know, it was wild. But that's all it was that changed us. And so we did that intentionally on the page, was highlighted her personality and tried to make the captions relate to the photos in what was actually happening at the time. We know they're mischievous and they're curious. You know, they are very funny and clever. And so we wanted to make the captions reflect that as well. Not be a hard-edged, you know, go vegan, go vegan, go vegan.
Yeah, of course.
That's be something that people thought about. You know, you go and you pick up a pack of bacon and you're like, oh God, Esther. You know, and it just happens. You don't even mean to. It's just her name comes to mind. And we've heard that exact story countless times. You know, I was grocery shopping and I put my usual pound of bacon in the cart, and all of a sudden, you know, I saw Esther and Shelby, and I had to put it back. Or I ordered my favorite meal in a restaurant and they put it in front of me, and all I could see was Esther. And, you know, that little seed really grows in people's minds, right? And they don't even know it's happened.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know, until it's happened, and then thankfully it's too late for them to do anything about it. So yeah, it's been a pretty wild
Esther.
Beautiful girl.
Esther, how are you, sweetie?
Off in dreamland.
Oh yeah.
She is in dreamland. She don't care what's going on.
Nope, does not. Hey, boo boo.
Hi, sweetie.
You tired, piggy?
Very tired.
I'd be tired too. She gets up every morning. The last few months, she's been getting up between 3 and 4 a.m.
So
demanding
cute.
breakfast.
Oh boy.
Breakfast. So she wakes up in the middle of the night, races around, demands her breakfast, then goes back to bed until about 6:30 or 7. Demands proper breakfast.
Oh boy.
There's breakfast, and then there's proper breakfast, and then there's post breakfast.
Yeah. And then she goes to bed for the day, bless her heart, because she's exhausted. I can't blame her.
She's got a rough life, let me tell you. Wow.
Yeah. So who's in charge of who around here? I think we know who rules the house. It's not us.
Yeah, she's a very special. And I love what you guys, and I don't think a lot of people, you know, unless you're in a situation where you have a pig and a dog and you have that in your life, it's like you said earlier, it's really hard to describe what that's like living with a pig. Their intelligence is staggering. We've got potbellies, we've got the Yorkshires, and I got to tell you guys, I don't know about you, but the Yorkshires, they seem a lot more intelligent. There's something about them that just melts my heart.
Yeah.
And
it's their face, eh? I found one of the things with Esther was her eyes.
Oh, yeah, the eyes.
Looking at her eyes, and especially the skin right around the eyes and the eyelashes, and it's so human, and there's so much depth to their eyes that, again, not to take anything away from dogs and how incredible and amazing they are, but it's different. You know, when you make eye contact with a pig, it's a totally different thing. You're not looking at. It's not like looking at a dog and making eye contact with a dog. It's a totally different thing. That, like you said, you can't really explain to people until they've.
It's the X factor. You can't explain it. It's
until they've had that experience.
Absolutely.
Or they've been fortunate enough to get to know a pig and you know, have one of those moments with a pig that you just don't really fully get. And it's hard to bring across, even in photos. I try a lot for when she's making eye contact.
You do a great job, by the way. You do a great job.
But yeah, it is. There's something about that look in their face.
Meeting them in person, they have human eyes for sure.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do. And that skin, you know, the skin behind their ears. Right?
Yeah. Oh my God. I never even thought about it. Yes.
Yeah. It's so human like.
Yeah.
That again, it just kind of adds when you add that to the everything else you see when you're spending so much time with them. It just really drives home. You know how special they are. You know, they really are amazing animals, aren't you, Boo Boo?
Esther. Somebody said give Esther a kiss, but I don't want to
kisses,
kiss you.
boo-boo? Girl. Hey, are you daddy's
There you
special
go.
pig?
That's what we do all
Hey,
day, Christmas.
There you go, Heather. That was for you, Heather.
We inflate her ego. We just sit here and kiss her and tell her how beautiful she is. And when she poops and pees, we clap. And we applaud.
Good
movies.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yep.
I'm sure
Awesome.
you celebrated lots when you're pissed.
Every day, guys. Every day. We had a Yorkshire that gave birth 7 weeks ago, and we've got 8 little munchkins running around, and I can't even begin to tell you
Wild.
how amazing that is.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, eh? We had I think April that gave birth here, right? We had our surprise.
Yes,
First
yes.
time we ever experienced that, and yeah, what an unbelievable experience it was.
Amazing, right?
Look, we knew nothing about anything really when we moved here to the farm. We knew about Esther, obviously, and that experience, but we were by no means, seasoned sanctuary professionals or farmers by any stretch of the imagination. And I'll never forget calling the vet and saying, "Oh my God, Dr. Kirkham, she's having babies. She's having babies." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Well, get over here. We need help." And he's like, "Well, there's nothing I can do. You guys got to handle it." And just catch them. Is what he said.
He was like, okay.
Just catch them. I'm expecting doctors and nurses and like all of this big scene, and he's like, "No, it's fine." I'm like, it's not fine. It's crazy.
I'll never forget the amount of laundry that was created with.
Yeah, it's funny. We woke up in the morning and there were 8 of them running around, and I was like, "What?
It just
Oh my
happens,
God!"
It's the craziest thing. It's just
For some reason, I thought they'd be born with their eyes closed and all that, but they're running around. It's amazing. It's truly amazing.
They're cute that first few months. I mean, they're always.
Oh boy. Yeah.
My gosh, those little tiny piglets. God.
Those little baby ears and those little tails, so cute.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Figure. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so all the babies are doing well. Everybody happy and healthy.
Yeah, they're all doing fantastic.
And mom's good.
Mom's doing great. They're already eating solid food and running around and rooting and all that fun stuff. It's amazing to see them running around with the other big pigs too. You see these little ones between the legs, and nobody gets hurt. Everybody, it's just they're amazing. They truly are amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't have to tell you guys that. I mean,
if you give the species enough space, right?
Yeah.
They do.
Oh gosh, absolutely. What would you tell somebody who's thinking about adopting a pig?
Oh my gosh.
So number one would make sure that you're ready for this experience. Buckle down, save all your money, and then send it to your vet.
True story.
Yeah.
True story.
True story.
Make sure you have a vet that can take care of a pig.
Yeah,
well, that's the other thing. All jokes aside, that's a very serious and legitimate concern because
make sure you have health caregivers for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Town bylaws, again, something to be aware of.
Absolutely.
We have to be aware of those, and a lot of pigs. What's the stat? It's a shocking statistic, and I would love to see some new numbers and updated stuff on it. But they say, what is it? 9 out of 10 pigs do not stay with their original
it's like 95% of people.
Families.
95% rehome.
Yeah, and it's
staggering.
Because of that, they get bigger than they're told. Breeders are unscrupulous, and animals get bigger than they're told. Yep. People are not prepared for the intelligence and you have to child-proof your house, but you have to child-proof your house for a toddler that can
forever
more than you. Right.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
There's a lot that goes along with it. So I mean, my advice and would be don't get a pig first. Go to a sanctuary, find a sanctuary near you, get to know a pig, learn as much as you can about pigs. And if you still think that you can provide a suitable home for the life of said pig, then speak to that sanctuary again. And they will, I'm sure, be able to help you locate a pig that needs a home.
Don't buy from a breeder.
Never.
Adopt. Yeah.
And I know that people talk about that all the time, but I think with pigs even more so. I mean, again, it's you never know what you're going to get, and B, there are so many that need a home, that
Oh my gosh.
there's absolutely no need for anybody ever to buy a pig from a breeder. It doesn't matter if you want a Juliana pig that may stay smaller. If you want a pot-bellied pig, you'll be able to find it from a rescue.
Absolutely.
Rescuing a pig does not mean that you're going to get an Esther. It doesn't mean that you can only have a 600-pound pig. That's not the case. You can rescue pot-bellies. You can rescue anything. Any kind of animal, not just a pig either.
Don't buy animals. Don't want a Yorkshire.
Don't
go to a farmer and put money into a farmer's hand.
No.
Open rescue, because open rescue.
Don't go to an auction.
Go to jail. You're not going to be able to help animals. Go to a sanctuary and figure out where the needs are, because there are sanctuaries that are failing and close every single year, and the whole herd and entire family of their residents need to be rehomed. And we don't need people to donate animals to sanctuaries.
Oh my God, I get that every day.
We don't need people to go out and rescue animals from working farms so that we can have the privilege of saving them.
Yep.
Amen.
Every day. Every day, guys.
Gosh,
every day.
So, the intentions are honorable. They're not thinking about the whole scope of the whole. Oh yes, here's somebody else that saved a lot of lives. We need to turn the key.
Yeah, we'll have to come in here and.
But check out your.
Hey, doing handsome boy.
Here is a true ambassador who is helping.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Lives of birds.
Where is he? There we go.
It's this camera. Yeah, there we go.
I love it. Is he dressed for St. Patrick's Day?
He is. This is his accident prevention device, right, buddy?
Oh goodness. Okay.
Buddy, man, he is hilarious.
Somebody was just asking about him. They were very upset that he was not on the show.
He has a lot of clout. He's a bit grumpy right now seasonally. He's molting, so it's painful for the turkeys when they're molting. And
I didn't know that.
When the new feathers are coming in.
I don't know if we can show you. They're
his fan on his feathers.
There's the new ones coming in.
Yeah.
So when they're poking through, it hurts. Then he's just irritable and picky, and he's a bit off right now. But it's a seasonal thing that we expect from him when he's coming in with new tail feathers. So
he looks grumpy.
Yeah.
Birds
are funny like that, eh? They are perpetually annoyed when you look at their faces. Hey, it's that downward grimace on their beaks. They make me laugh. They're like dinosaurs. And their feet. Hey, my
goodness. Their feet. Incredible, right?
Their feet are something else. Hey, you're like a velociraptor, aren't you?
Totally.
Hey, and he loves bananas. Turkey bananas are one of his favorite things.
That's the best. Oh my gosh.
Acorn? Yeah, turkeys love bananas.
Oh my goodness.
Phil's love bananas.
They're
Hey.
Got the whole family here now.
Oh yeah, these Spite eats stuff. Anything that Cornelius or Esther are eating, Phil all of a sudden loves as well for some reason.
Phil. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's taking and running. Oh, good girl.
Oh, Esther. Yay, bananas. Woo. So cute. So cute. Unbelievable. I can't compete with the animals. This is amazing. You guys are. Thank you for showing all these kids.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
We're so happy to share our experience with you and get to hear a little bit about your operations. We hope that some of Esther's friends will check out Little Bear Sanctuary. You're in Florida, right?
Yeah, we're in Florida.
Well, must be nice. Esther, cover your ears. It's so warm there now.
Yeah, I cannot imagine what you guys have to go through in the winter. I couldn't do it. I got a lot of friends in New York who have some sanctuaries, and yikes. I'm from New York. I'm from New York City, so I can't even imagine. This is a big change for me.
Falling from trees. Right, baby girl?
Yeah, the water freezing is definitely an uphill battle all winter long, and keeping everybody warm.
Yeah, keeping everybody warm. Yeah, yeah. Tell me, you guys. I know you guys have an upcoming event, April 24th. You have a bingo night event.
Yeah, super stoked about the experience box. Last year, of course, due to COVID, we had to. I hate this word because I've heard it a million times. We had to pivot our operations and sort of figure out how to do things in a COVID environment. And because we couldn't have on-site events, that drastically reduced the amount of funds that we had available to carry on operations. So we went digital, we went online, and we came up with some fun, exciting events to do where it was just us and a couple video cameras running around the farm. And we came up with a Halloween experience box, and we ship folks a mystery box, and you don't open it until we all do it together on a live Zoom call. And we go through the experience box and we play silly little games and do stupid dad things. And there's, of course, exclusive fun things in it. And so the Halloween box was such a fun thing to do. We had a really great it was an awesome
It's really
experience.
clever. They were really clever. The Sanctuary team did a great job of
that is great. I love it. Great idea.
It's hard to keep people engaged and interested, so it was a really neat way to get on Zoom and everybody's together and everybody's looking at the same thing and doing the same thing, and it gives that kind of sense of community. And Esther's Esther's little groups have really kind of formed little friendships. We know there's friendships that happen outside of the pages, and there's relationships have happened on Esther's pages. It's really, really neat. So being able to bring people together is super cool. So we've got a few of them playing this year, right? We've got bingo, and we've got.
So this one's games night.
Yeah.
This one's games night.
Game night, yeah.
And so we're gonna play Zoom bingo with everybody, and there's
prizes,
and you can see everybody's faces. And when they win, they'll be able to shout bingo or type bingo, and we'll verify it. And then so the prizes, it's gonna be reminiscent of a church basement bingo with cheesy Tupperware prizes, and it's going to be awesome.
Love it. You guys still on Cameo?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are definitely. That's been an interesting way to interact and engage with people. Hey, Pigger. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys can check that out on the Cameo website for sure. We'll send a little happy birthdays and
for friends that don't know what Cameo is.
Yeah, tell people if they don't know what Cameo is.
Yeah, give them a little one-liner about what Cameo is.
Yeah, so Cameo allows you to send personalized videos to somebody special in your life for whatever you'd like, whether it's just to say hello and make them smile, or for a birthday or anniversary or any sort of special event, or just because. And so Esther will pop by and say hello and introduce a few of her friends, or take them for a walk, or whatever it is they need to do. So it's a pretty cool way to say hello to people. Hey, Piggers. Yeah, we enjoy doing those. We have a lot of fun with them. Some people have some really hilarious requests that are a lot of fun. We have a good time with it, don't we, Boo Boo?
And tell us a little bit about Esther's Army.
Yeah, Esther's Army is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
Esther's Army. Where is the camera? There it is. It's hard to find this one. Esther's Army came about while we were fundraising for the farm, the initial payment for the farm here. And we had a devout number of individuals that really wanted to help us fundraise. And rather than gum up the Esther the Wonder Pig Facebook page every day with fundraising, we created Esther's Army. And we gave the devout followers a specific set of instructions and things to share and tag words to use and where to go and how to do it. And we sort of instructed them how to do it. And we, for every person that we brought on board, they would share stuff. And it was an eye-opening experience just how much traction you could get when there was 5,000 people and then 10,000 people. And now there's over 50,000 people on that.
Wow. That's incredible.
Once the campaign ended and the fundraiser was over, we had this enormous audience on Esther's Army that were very devout followers, and they would do anything that you asked them to do with a kind heart. And we didn't want to close that page, so we kept it open, and we made its mission to share other sanctuaries, spotlights, other sanctuary fundraisers, rehoming networks. So it's a rehoming network and a network of shouting out other farm sanctuaries. So
I met Monica. You guys, Monica.
Hundreds of pigs last year. They placed homes for.
He knows Monica.
Oh, you know
Monica. I know Monica. She's down here in Florida with me. I got to meet her a couple times.
Isn't she the most incredible lady?
She really is.
Oh my God, she's incredible.
Yeah.
And she's got her dolphin page. Obviously familiar with her.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
How cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got really fortunate to get connected with people like Monica, and the admins that help on our page, and they are just the kindest and most dedicated. And and Monica, I know, is driven to different states to help with locations and to move animals around. And I mean, my goodness, the things that these people will do to help.
Yeah, I worked on the Kentucky 458, that big hoarding case.
Yeah.
We took 10 boys. That's how I initially met her. We took 10 of those pigs. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're very fortunate. And Monica is so knowledgeable too. So I mean, again, for somebody considering getting a pig, Esther's Army can be a really good place to go. A, for information, and B, to help you find a pig that needs a home. That's a really great resource for people. Yeah.
Final thoughts, guys? Anything you want to say?
Well, thank you for one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. This was one of my favorite podcasts.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah,
and thanks for all the work that you guys do down in Florida too.
Hey, thank you guys too. Really, you guys are awesome.
Come for a visit. Hey, Corno?
Yeah, final thoughts, I think, is just to always remember to check out farm sanctuaries in your area.
For sure.
Heath's isn't attainable for people down in Florida, and likewise, Florida is not attainable for people that are up here. So, look, Google these places, and
you'll probably be surprised to find out how close you are to one. I don't realize,
for sure.
How popular they actually are. There are farm sanctuaries all over. I dare say there's a sanctuary in every state in America. I don't know that for sure, but I'd be very confident that there is.
Yeah, definitely.
There's micro sanctuaries. It doesn't, there's not a real definition of what a sanctuary is.
Yeah.
And micro sanctuary can be just helping one. You don't have to help a million.
Yep.
You could just help one. And if you want to help more animals, then leave them off your plate. That's the simplest way to help the most amount of animals is to simply stop eating them. It's it's a profound.
It's a hard but
true.
Yeah.
People always say, how many animals can you have at the sanctuary? And it's like, well, maybe 100, but we can really save truckloads every single day just by showing how wonderful these guys are and showing individual personalities. So, and then I guess the last thought is don't lose faith in your family. If your family eats animals and you are an anomaly, then don't lose faith and don't shut them out, and just continue to lead a positive lifestyle the best way that you can, and it will rub off on them.
Yeah,
it will.
Kindness is magic.
I can speak from experience. I've always come from that positive aspect, and you don't need to yell, you don't need to do the screaming, and people will change. They have to. Yeah.
The most unexpected people, I think, had you met either of us before Esther came around and said, hey, let's discuss veganism, we probably would have turned the other way and walked as quickly as we could. We wanted nothing to do with it, and would laugh at the idea, the thought of having a burger without bacon. You're ridiculous,
Yep. Gosh, bacon, right?
Anybody can change. Anybody can change. And so, have faith. They just need the right reason, the right motivation. And I believe getting to know animals like Esther and like Cornelius is a really key part of that. Need to know where your food comes from.
Yep. Visit a sanctuary, meet a pig.
100%.
Yep. Guys, thank you so much for coming on today. It was great to finally meet you guys in person. Thank you, Esther. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you again. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Have an awesome afternoon. And
bye, Derek. Bye, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
All the best. Bye-bye.
You too. All right. Well, I don't think I can top Esther today. That was that was amazing. You guys, a lot of people tuned in. Thank you guys for watching today. Wow, look at everybody logged in. I got a couple more minutes left, so I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick. On this day, back in 2016, it was a Saturday. It was the day before Easter. And I was living in Port Charlotte. I was starting my new job as a vet tech that Monday. I had decided I was going to open up a farm sanctuary. Didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew. I said, let me become a vet tech first. So we're the Saturday before Easter, 2016. Monday's my big new job. And I've got 2 dogs. We only had Kashmir and Naya. And I'm sitting at home, and it's a Saturday, and I'm like, my friends are like, come on, let's go out. And I'm like, tomorrow's Easter. I don't want to go out. Forget it, right? So last minute, I'm talking last minute, like 10:30 at night, I said, you know what? I'm going to go out and have a couple drinks with my friends. And big group of friends, we're all out having a couple drinks, having a good time. And who do I meet? Randy. That's 5 years ago today, I met Randy. And if you guys don't know, Randy's my husband. I always get emotional when I talk stuff like this. Meeting him truly changed my life, changed his life. We together, we were married 6 months later. And 6 months later, after that, we sold our house in Fort Myers and opened up Little Bear Sanctuary. So how crazy is that, guys? From not wanting to go out to it had to be fate. So I thought I'll share that story with you. 5 years ago today. I love you, Randy. Another quick shout out to the Zen Dog Life. Really quick, Gunda. Documentary Gunda, executive producer, Joaquin Phoenix. Our sanctuary was given the opportunity to show you guys the movie, the documentary, before its theatrical premiere. There is the link. Tiffany just put it up. It's $11 per ticket. It's April 8th at 8 p.m. You can watch it from the comfort of your own home. It'll be like a group movie night. We'll be there. And $11 a ticket. If you've got a whole bunch of people in your house, you just need to buy one ticket and log in. If you guys want to make a separate donation to the sanctuary, if you can afford to, if you want to buy a ticket for everybody, just make a donation to the sanctuary. But follow that link, buy a ticket. It's going to be a fun night. It's a black and white documentary, and it follows the life of a pig, a one-legged chicken, and 2 cows. I got to watch it last weekend. It's really fascinating. There's no animal cruelty. It's a really thought-provoking, intimate look at the life of these few farm animals. And I hope you guys will watch it with us. I'm really excited about it. So the Zen Dog Life, really quick, the Zen Dog Life, thezendoglife.com. We were talking about them on a show a few weeks ago. They sent me this amazing little gift bag with all these amazing doggy treats and anxiety. My dogs, a couple of my dogs have a lot of anxiety. So they sent me this really great little care package. They do canine nutrition, animal Reiki, energy healing, sound therapy, sacred ceremonies. They've got vegan products. They send me little doggy treats, Zen dog mist. Gosh, I'm washing out. Look at that. I love their logo. They send me this cute little, amethyst is like a healing stone. Look how cute is this little, it's a little amethyst in the shape of a heart. You can put it on your doggy collar. I'm going to wear it, actually. It's my birthstone. So thank you, Zen Dog. Check them out, the Zen Dog, thezendoglife.com. And they're also the Zen Dog Life on Instagram. And that is the end of my show today, guys. Thanks to Steve, Derek, and Esther, and Cosmo and Phil for making an appearance today. Love you guys. Love you guys. I love what you do. I'll see everybody next week. Next week is our pre-show to our 21-day vegan challenge with Chef David from David's Kitchen LA. Another great show. I love you guys. And remember, peace begins on your plate. Have a good weekend, everybody.
This month's broadcasting is sponsored by ICU Dr. Lauren Love, ICU nurses, technicians, and staff in the Boston area hospitals.